15th November 2023, the day the sun set on the Babar Azam era of Pakistan captaincy. Or did it? It felt like it at that point in time because Babar, who was under major pressure after having overseen a rather poor World Cup in India, ended up resigning from the post. But now, just about 4 months later, he's back in the same position, albeit still not as the captain across all formats. Why exactly that's the case, we'll get to that later on. But it seemed like something that would never be happening just 4 months later has happened again. Babar Azam has been made Pakistan's white ball captain. In fact, the PCB put out a rather interesting tweet announcing it. It was a video which, for some strange reason, didn't really have any audio, but the tweet spoke volumes. It said that following unanimous recommendations from the PCB selection committee, Chairman of the PCB, Mohsin Naqvi, has appointed Babar Azam as the white ball, which is ODI and T20 captain of the Pakistan men's cricket team. So it's been specified very clearly that he is the white ball captain and not, in fact, the all format captain, which he was previously. So that means that at least for now, Shan Masood's position as red ball captain is still safe. And there's a reason I say for now. But how exactly did it come to this? 4 months ago, it felt like Babar was done. Now, he's seemingly back. And one of the key things that you have to remember is that things have changed rather quickly in that time period. Remember, they had a pretty bad 2023 World Cup. It was so bad, in fact, that the pressure had been mounting even in the middle of the tournament with all that argy-bargy that was going on between Pakistan Cricket Board sources. The chairman was throwing the selectors and captain under the bus. It wasn't a very good time. So the writing was on the wall even at that time. And after Babar had been removed, or dare I say resigned of his own accord before he was removed, well, Shaheen Shah Afridi had been named the new T20I skipper. And I say T20I skipper because officially they hadn't named an ODI captain. Shaheen was just the T20I skipper, but he has now been leading the team for just one series before he was stripped of the captaincy. But why exactly is it the case? How is it that Shaheen Shah Afridi, someone who was seen as a future leader given the kind of impact he had even in the Pakistan Super League, how is it that just one series later he's done? Ironically, it was the Pakistan Super League where his undoing took place, because this year in the PSL, he had been pretty poor with the ball as well as in terms of his captaincy. Yet it does seem very, very unfair and very circus-like that someone who was brought in barely 4 months back has now been chucked out. Another reason, and something that we always have to keep in mind when it comes to Pakistan cricket, is that the current regime may have been more pro-Babar as opposed to the previous regime, who it seemed were pretty clear to move on from their star batter being their main man. But how has Shaheen Shah Afridi reacted to all of this? Well, it does seem, based on what we're hearing from Pakistan media sources, that he has relatively quietly accepted the decision. There hasn't been too much of a fight, there hasn't been too much of a pushback, but Shaheen has made it very, very clear that the call to replace him is something that he sees as an unfair one, and should be told, it does kind of make sense when you keep in mind the fact that he only led them for one series. The one series against New Zealand, they lost that one 4-1, which shouldn't really be that much of a problem given that New Zealand at home, pretty formidable side. And after that, he was removed. Now the real question when it comes to Babar is that can he get the test captaincy back as well? As of now, there's been no indication that he will be given back that test captaincy. Remember, even Shan Masood has only really led the team in one series. It was the Australia series, and that has pretty much been the extent of it. Yes, they got beaten, but pretty much every single captain who has toured Pakistan, or has toured Australia, beg pardon, has in fact been beaten. So it's not really a big deal. However, because Pakistan don't have too many tests coming up, they haven't yet taken a call on Shan Masood's captaincy. But the reports are suggesting that Babar could very well get test captaincy back if he excels at white ball, and more importantly, if Shan Masood underwhelms in the role. So it does seem like the wheels are very much in motion for Babar Azam to once again become the all-format skipper, even though that hasn't been the case yet. And if you ask me, it's definitely representative of just how much of a gift that keeps on giving Pakistan cricket really is. Yes, there's no doubting the fact that Babar as a captain, especially in T20Is, has overachieved. 2021, they beat India, made it to the semi-finals of the World Cup. 2022 went one better and made it all the way to the finals. However, There has been a criticism of Babar that he was a reactive rather than proactive captain, which is a fair enough assessment, I would say. So moving on from him, maybe it would have freed him up and potentially given him more of a chance to be the star batter rather than the leader as well as the star batter. Now though, it seems that he's back in the helm and could very well be the all-format captain just a few months after relinquishing the position across all formats. Definitely an interesting turn of events, but what are your thoughts on the matter? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now, from my side, it is goodbye.